Hey everyone, it's Bree. I'm back with the scrapbook process video for the SpiegelMom Scraps design team, and I'm going to be working with the sequin mix A Walk in the Park, and it is part of the June sequin release. And if you haven't checked out the shop, the July pre-order is open for the July sequin mixes, so definitely go check those out. I am working with this pattern paper by Vicki Boutin, and I've already traced a large heart onto this paper, and then I've got my little paper piercer tool, and I am adding dots because I do want to add some embroidery thread, and then on the rows of embroidery thread I'm going to sew in, or not sew in, but I'm going to string along some of these sequins. And I do end up pulling another sequin mix here in just a minute, and it'll be, it's Hexafrost. So I've got my holes already put in, and I've got my needle threaded with some embroidery thread, and I'm just going to go ahead and start adding some of these sequins. So this sequin mix is super pretty. It's got some really pretty gold, not gold, what am I, I'm looking at it, it's green sparkly flat sequins, and some wood grain sequins and yellows and blues and some blue stars. I have only chosen the ones that had holes in them, and my needle is really thick, so I wasn't able to use some of the smaller sequins. That's mainly another reason why I added the Hexafrost mix, because I did want some of the blues and then some of the silvers as well. So I'm just honestly just stringing some random sequins here and there. I'm not counting, I'm just kind of adding them in and alternating colors and everything. Yeah, so I don't know if, I don't mind hand sewing or hand stitching on my layouts. My biggest problem is threading the embroidery thread through my needle, and that's why I have such a large needle. And trust me, I've watched videos, I've seen tips and tricks, and keeping, the thread underneath, in between two fingers, and kind of inching your little needle down. And I think that is the biggest thing that turns me off from stitching, is having to get the thread through the needle. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but that's, yes. But on this project, it actually went fairly quickly for me. So I think maybe with just more practice, I think I can get it down. And yeah, so anyways, I am basically just threading from one side to another in the heart and adding sequins here and there. And you'll see here in just a minute exactly how it looks. I don't make you watch me do the whole thing because it's pretty straightforward. Honestly, you should just take a shape, you draw it out, and then punch the holes where you want them, and just sew around it. So yeah, so I'm just going from one side to another and just going from underneath, and that's it right there. So after I did the rows of the thread, across from one side to another, I ended it there, and then I went around the heart and added more thread as well, just to kind of close it up so you can really see the heart shape. And then I went in with a Posca white paint pen and traced around the heart, so it accentuates it more, and so it stands up a little bit off the page and it doesn't get lost. But I didn't like the way it looked. It looked a little messy to me. So I added some thread around it, I sewed with my sewing machine a few times. I think I went 3 times around the heart to kind of blend in with that marker, and I love the way it turned out. It added extra texture, it added, a different kind of thread, and then it just really made the heart stand out. I think all in all, it took me maybe an hour to get all those sequins on each thread. It wasn't bad at all, and I kind of, separated them so it would, all my sequins would be kind of spread out. And it reminds me of those old school abacus tools that people used to do math on. Isn't that crazy? But yes, there's been quite a few sparklers that have done this technique, just strung along some sequins on thread, or embroidery thread, or embroidery floss, whatever you call it, or however you call it. So yeah, this is just another technique that you guys can be inspired to use sequins with. So I'm working with these Hip Kit Club exclusive ephemera pieces that came in the May kit. I have received my June kit. I received it last week, and I still have yet made it even halfway through my May kit. So I'm trying to get through a lot of my stash. I have so much stuff, and I'm not using it fast enough. But yeah, I love these exclusive flowers and these pieces in this set. And this thicker, the word greatest, I believe it came from Chamel, I think, and that's actually from the June kit. But I saw that word greatest, and the picture that I'm using is of me and my dog Luna, and they actually have a filter for your dog. And I love, I mean, I love Snapchat. I'm not an active user. I only use it, obviously, I think for a lot of people use it for the filters just because they're fun and, you know, they're funny. And it's mainly just for personal use. But yeah, I had to try it with my dog, and it is hilarious. So that made me think of the title, The Greatest Filter Ever. And that's why I used it, because it's iridescent and silver, as that matches the hexafrost sequins that are strung in my heart. Yeah, so the puppy stickers that I use for the are blue, and so I was just gonna have the greatest filter, but I kind of wanted to sandwich the last word, I guess, in a title, so that's why I added ever, and to me it completed it and made it stand out and just made it look so much better. Yeah, so I'm just going to, I've like scattered some flower pieces, and since everything was very embellishment heavy and title heavy on the right side of my heart, I thought that I needed another cluster of something up on the left. So that's where I added a flower ephemera piece, and then a little title, I think that says the good stuff, and just a few pieces here and there. So pretty simple. I do love that font in that Chamel greatest word, and it is foam, and I just love it. I think that's from her new line, or is it from Sparkle City? I'm not sure. Or I know Sparkle City is her newer line. I don't know. I don't think she's come up with anything new lately. So I believe that's from Sparkle City. And correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, I love that. And I love that it's silver and it just kind of matches. And that's why I added that heart from the All Heart collection by Crate Paper. And then these paper tassels that I am in love with. And I didn't even notice that that tassel, or those tassels, have gold in it. And I have silver. So whoops, that's okay. You can't really tell. So yeah, I just glued that down. I added, let's see, did I add anything else while I was rambling on? Nope. Oh, I'm adding these clear black hearts around just to sprinkle it just with more pops of black. And then I do tuck in some of these flowers to give more, like, to add more to my little clusters here. And they're clear, so I kind of just stuck them on as they are. And I believe that does it. That completes my page. It was this very simple layout other than stringing each of the sequins. I didn't want to take too much away from it, but I love how it turned out. So there's my code, Brianna15. Use it to save 15% off in the store. There's my final layout and some up-close shots of my stitching and all the beautiful sequins. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.